Friends, welcome back to the Autry Benton Show. Today I have my friend Melanie Wellons with us. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a business person, and she serves on the Horry County School Board, and she's running to be the next chair. Melanie, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Autry. It's great to be here.
It's good. Well, you know, one of our most popular shows was your dad, Arnold Johnson.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I hope you know this, but he's a true hero, and I think the world of him and your mom. And I can't wait to get him back on here. He told me, so I'm trying to come back. I didn't get it all out. I said, well, we want you back. But,
well, he likes to tell his stories, and he definitely is a good one.
yes,
he's a keeper for sure.
He is. I mean, really, he truly is a good man.
He
and,
is.
I look up to him, and your mom too. So,
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your mom. We know your dad. So tell us a little bit about your mom.
Well, she was born and raised here, just like him, and she worked in the county government for 30 years, and she does a lot of helping with other people and whatever they need, and they're both very active in their church, Jamestown Baptist, and she's a true servant, and I just love her as much as I love my daddy.
Yeah, Miss Linda Johnson. What does she do in county government? She do different stuff, or?
She worked at Myrtle Beach for the magistrates who were serving in that office.
Wow, and she's retired now.
Yeah, she is retired now. Right.
Yeah, and
enjoying life.
And she is always busy. She says she's a behind-the-scenes person, but I says you're certainly more out front than you realize. But she's always helping somebody.
Yes, always.
Always smiling. But they're great. They're great.
Yes,
so tell me about growing up.
Well, we lived in Conway all my life. Was class of '91 Conway High School graduate, and after that went to Coastal. Went to work for Johnny Allen at the time, treasurer. Stayed there for about 10 years, and during that time I got married and started having a family. My amazing husband Dave and I, we have 2 grown children now. Mm-hmm. Madeline, who is a first grade teacher at Walkamaw Elementary in Conway, and she and her husband live in Conway too. And then David, he is 23 years old, working with his daddy, building houses, and we still live in Conway. And I went to work with him after I left the treasurer's office in the motel business.
Okay.
And we stayed there for several years, and then I went to work with my daddy for the last 19 years.
Wow.
I've worked in the pool industry, building swimming pools and servicing them and keeping them clean, and here we are.
Wow, that's great. Well, what was your one takeaway working in county government? You know, you were there 10 years. So what's one thing you learned there or being there?
It was a tough job. When I was under the treasurer's office, I was actually working in delinquent tax department.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, you know, we were the bad guys. We were the ones that had to collect your money and sell your property if you didn't pay your taxes. So our office wasn't very well liked, but it was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of good people. And, you know, it was just being that friendly face during a rough time for some people. Mm-hmm. You know, just having that extra smile on your face for customer service and trying to help them out the best way that we could. It was a very rewarding job. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed working under Johnny Allen and his leadership.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, even in a tough situation, a smile will still go a long way, won't it?
Right. Yeah. It will.
Wow.
It will.
That's good. You know, and going back to your dad's wisdom, he's told me many times, he said, Autry, he says, kindness will take you a lot further than being mean sometimes. So I can see you've already learned that from him.
Yes.
So.
Well, you try, even in those hard times.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. So where did you meet your husband at?
In Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach? Okay.
Yeah, we met in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. We'll tell a story, love story a little bit.
Well, I was actually out at Broadway at the beach with a friend of mine who had just had a baby about 6 weeks prior, and she wanted to get out of the house. So she said, let's go over to Broadway. A friend of mine, his band is playing, and we'll go grab dinner and then go listen to the band. I was like, okay, you know, that's fine.
Like
it sounds like fun. So we went over there, and we were listening to the band, getting ready to leave because they were about to finish up. And she said, oh my God, Melanie, there's David Wellons, and you need to meet him. I was like, who is he?
Yeah.
And she said, you just need to meet him.
Yeah.
I heard him and his girl have broken up, and you need to meet him. I was like, okay. So she introduced us. It was nothing more than, hey, nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
We left. We were walking out to our car, and I said, Gina, I will marry that boy.
Oh, boy.
She looked at me and she started laughing, and she was like, you are crazy. I said, you mark my word, I will marry that boy.
Wow.
And here we are 26 years later.
Wow. Well, so how long was it before y'all were married, from first meeting roughly?
About 2 years.
2 years.
Yep,
Okay.
about
And y'all
2
been
years.
married how long now?
26.
26 years. Wow.
26
Now,
years.
was he in the Myrtle Beach area already then?
He was.
Working?
He was, yes.
Yep.
His family was in the motel business.
Okay, good
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
So great. So you said you worked hotel business. What was your thoughts of working in that industry?
Now, that was a lot of fun.
Okay.
We had a great group of people that would always come and stay with us in the summertime. Matter of fact, I was telling your camera people earlier that back then were simpler times. Those people saved all year to be able to come and vacation for a week in Myrtle Beach. And it was, your blue collar workers from up north, West Virginia or Ohio or Pennsylvania. And even for Harley Week and Memorial Day weekend, all of those guys would just come and fellowship, and it was like a big reunion for them as well. So we developed a lot of relationships with those people, and really we called them family because they would come and stay with us every year.
Was it the traditional 3 or 4 month season then? I mean, it's more year round now on the beach.
It is more year round now, but back then it was, but for us it wasn't, because we would have a lot of snowbirds that would come.
Okay, that's right.
Yep. And they would come and stay, 5, 6 months out of the year with us, starting in October. Some would come in November, because they didn't have, families where they were at, and it was just the two of them. So they would come and stay with us, and they set up we always had a little room reserved for them for playing games at night and having little social events. So they had a good time. We had a good time with them.
Wow. So you enjoyed doing that?
Yes,
Good.
it was a lot of
So
fun.
how did you transition to working with your dad? I'm sure he was wanting you to come for a while.
Oh, well, yes. Dave and I just decided we were getting out of the motel business, and I told my daddy I needed a job, and he was like, well, come on.
Oh, that's great.
So-
Have you enjoyed that?
Yes, yes.
And you're still involved there
Yes,
today, right?
Still involved today.
Yeah.
Yep, he's kind of, stepped back a little bit, not completely, but he's still there every morning. We depend on him to have our coffee made and the mail opened. So
Yeah. And he's an
anyway.
early bird, right?
he is an early bird.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
So what do you enjoy the most about working there in that industry and that business?
Well, probably the best thing for me is getting to see my daddy on a daily basis.
Oh, that's good.
And then, being there for the employees who have been so loyal to him for so many years. We've got employees there that have been there for 20 plus years.
Wow.
So what a testament to him
Yeah.
and his business. And being able to help the customers,
Yeah.
I try to have the mindset for myself and for my employees that the customer is always right. No matter how bad it might be, the customer is always right. And we just do everything that we can to make them happy if they are in an unhappy situation.
And I guess your other two stops before there, you've learned skills that's helped you today in your business, I'm sure.
Yes.
That's good. So tell us a little bit about your kids. So tell us about little David again, what's he doing, and a little bit about him.
Yep. Little David is working with his daddy, building houses. David's in the development business, so he has gone to get his general contractor's license. So he is a residential home builder, and he's just started his first spec house. So we're excited for him and see where this opportunity is going to take him in the future. And as you very well know, there's a lot of building going on. So
Yeah.
hopefully there'll be some more in the future for him.
It's good. Like his dad and his granddad, he enjoys outdoors, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
And that's something they share together, right?
They do. They do. He has been hunting since he was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Going to Canada since he was probably 9 years old. And they travel to Mexico and Argentina and everywhere else. But yes, they're like the three little amigos.
Yeah. And your daughter's a school teacher.
She is.
Has she always wanted to be a school teacher?
First grade, pretty much. Yes. Yes, always has always been drawn to small children. Always had a good rapport with them and just loving on them. And, just she loves her job.
Yeah.
But she is, she's one of my wives for the school board.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And she's married?
She is married.
To
She's
Addison?
married Addison Dix.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a Myrtle Beach boy.
Yeah.
So they live in Conway, and he's thriving with his business, and they're doing good.
That's great. That's great. That's great. So I ask a lot of guests this, so tell me a little bit of marriage advice you'd give our listeners. You've been married as long as you have.
Well, you can't do marriage without having God at the center of it.
Oh, that's great.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Yeah.
And learn to be forgiving
Yeah.
and loving at the same time.
Yeah, that's great. All right. How about some parenting advice?
Parenting advice. Oh, Lord, that's $1 million question, Autry. Love your kids endlessly.
Yeah.
Even in the hard times, and when they make wrong decisions or or have a tough decision to make, just be there for them.
Yeah.
Just let them know you love them at the end of the day.
That's good. And it's different how your kids can be so different too at times. They need different stuff at different seasons.
That's right.
Don't they?
That's right. That's right. They do.
That's
they
good.
do.
Well, so your mom, your wife. So what got you interested in the school board?
Well, when my kids were growing up, I was always involved in their schools, and I guess whenever they when Madeline got to high school, I got on the Carolina Forest Advisory Board.
Okay.
And was able to serve on that as well as their school improvement council. And then whenever the representative for District 8 passed away, I was approached about putting in my name for his being appointed into his position. So I did, and I got it, and I had to fulfill his unexpired term, which was about 1.5 years, 2 years. So then I had to run in 2022, and I did, and I won. And I've been in that position since April of 21. 5 years.
5 years, yeah. Time goes by when you're having
flies
fun.
when you're having fun, right.
Yeah.
And really, I made it my goal when I got on there to really form those relationships. I don't know if most of your viewers know, but on Thursdays, we do school visits. The board does, with our superintendent and other people from the district office. And that's an opportunity for me and other board members to get into the classrooms, into these schools, and see these teachers doing what they do best, and I'm not there to judge them. I'm not there to criticize them. I'm there to let them know that I care. And I care about the students, and I care about everybody in those buildings, because at the end of the day, they need to know that they are cared for and they are thought of. And Thursdays are my favorite day.
Wow, that's great. So we'll back up just a little bit. So when you had to go on the campaign trail for the first time, what did you think about that?
That was rough. I mean, it was crazy, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I walked a lot of miles, knocked on a lot of doors. And, just getting out there and meeting with your constituents in that district and talking to them about what they think. And it was very eye-opening, very, very fun. And I really enjoyed it.
That's good. It's tough, but very fulfilling.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Do you find that your constituents wanted to talk to you and share their thoughts?
Some of them did, but some of them didn't.
Right.
I guess it kind of depended on what they really wanted to talk about. Some of them would want to make sure that, I was a Republican. Some of them wanted to make sure that I was a Christian. None of them ever really approached me about what's happening in the schools, because I think a lot of the constituents in my area are retired and they don't have a lot of children in our schools. But it was fun. It was fun.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Well, I'm gonna brag on you at this point. Being from Conway, I've always knew you were in the schools, but so every Thursday you go in the schools.
Yes, sir.
And do your other school board members do that? Is that kind of required? Is it just kind of a volunteer thing y'all do?
It's not a requirement. No,
Right.
we most of them show up.
Right.
Yep. Some of them will come whenever it's just the schools in their district.
Okay.
I try to be at every one of them so that I can, I'm not just concerned about District 8. I want them to know that I'm concerned about the whole district. Because things in Green Sea are a little different than they are in Myrtle Beach.
And you've answered my question. So you don't just visit schools in your district now, you go countywide.
That's right.
I got you.
That's right.
Good.
Yeah.
So what is your reception going into the school? Are they nervous for you to come in there, teachers or students?
They say they are, but they don't act like they are. I've heard that the principals get real nervous, because they want to make sure that everything is just perfect, but they don't act as if they are nervous at all.
Right. I got you. Good.
So
And
we're
so,
just there to have a good time and talk with the students and, the teachers too.
by doing that, have you learned a different perspective or learned things you didn't know when have made decisions?
Well, yes, we are able to see the curriculum at work in the classrooms with the teachers, doing what they do, learning from their letters training that they've been going through. We get to see the students, up and at it, walking around their classrooms, working out problems on the whiteboards. Yes, there's a lot that we get to see. I mean, they're always engaged.
Yeah. To brag on y'all again, you know what? We are so blessed in Horry County. We have got great schools, Melanie.
We do.
We got
really
great
do.
facilities. We got great
We do.
teachers, administrations. We are blessed.
Yes, we are.
And you don't have to travel too far in many directions in other school districts to know how blessed we are.
Nope.
I remember, of course, we're in construction too, and we were doing a renovation on a school, and I'm like, they need to start from scratch right here. This would never go in Horry County. I mean,
Right.
we're very blessed.
Yes, we are.
So talk to me a little bit about, let me back up a little bit. All right. You were just talking about campaigning. I think a lot of times our viewers and our residents are on the news cycle sometimes, that you just ask, are you Republican, this, that, and the other.
Right.
It's not really the details or really what's going on, I encourage our listeners a lot to get informed of what's going on. So can you talk to us a little bit about the school district, like the size of the budget, just some nuts and bolts of what y'all do and how it kind of goes down?
Yep. We are working on the budget now.
Okay.
So when we hired our new superintendent, Mr. Cliff Jones, he came in with a goal and a plan and let us know that, he wanted to get us to a zero-based budgeting, and he has been working tremendously at that.
What does that mean, Melanie?
Last year he cut $20 million out of our
balanced
budget. Yep, balanced budget. And he presents to us, we just had a budget retreat 2 weeks ago. So he presents to us as the board plans for a specific line item, so to speak. So when we were meeting a couple of weeks ago, he was talking about giving the teachers a raise and other areas getting a 3% increase. And when he presents that to us, that's for information purposes and for us to consider.
Okay.
So by the time we get through with the budget process, maybe mid to late May, that's when they put it all on paper for us.
Okay.
And we really look at line item by line item as to what the superintendent has proposed.
I got you. So roughly how big is the budget?
It will probably be around $1 billion.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Important.
A lot of
And
money.
so that's why our residents should really do their homework and know who's on our school board.
Right.
Because what y'all do really does matter,
Right. And we do everything we can not to have to raise taxes,
Yep.
which is a big priority for me, because that's the last thing that I want,
Yeah.
because I think we can do it without having to raise the taxes.
Yep. Well, y'all are managing a lot. Okay. Horry County, tremendous growth. Where are we at there? Do we need more schools, Melanie?
Well, right now we are trying to buy property.
Okay.
We've purchased a piece up in the Little River area for future expansion if needed. And of course, we just purchased that land on Highway 90.
Okay.
for future expansion if needed. We've talked new high school, we've talked new elementary schools, in the areas. We don't have a plan for it yet, but we're talking.
Yeah, so there's always plans, there's always growth.
That's right.
Always
That's
plans.
right.
Okay, so you are running to be the school board chair. So tell us what our current chair is not running. Is that correct?
That's correct. Mr. David Cox, he is not going to seek re-election.
Good. So tell us your thoughts on it and what pushed you to want to run for chair.
Well, I want to see this district continue to move forward.
Okay.
We cannot look back at what has transpired in the past. We've got to move forward. We've got to be forward thinkers on the growth that's happening in our county. We've got to be forward thinkers on what's coming down the pike with, out of the state level. We've got to be able to adapt to keeping our literacy rates up, and we've got to work on keeping our math scores up where they need to be, and we need to stay on track just like we are with improving upon our report card that we get from the state for all of our schools and our testing grades and our graduation rates, and also being able to provide our students with a career in technical education, because as you very well know, Autry, just like yourself, you're in a mom and pop business, so to speak, and our plumbers and our electricians and construction workers, they're the future of Horry County. That's what is keeping our economy growing. And I want to see that those students are really targeted to be able to pursue that, so that whenever they do graduate, they'll be able to graduate and go straight to work.
Yeah. And Melanie, I'm going to brag on y'all too. I actually posted on our socials, like I was in Green C. Floyd High School at a game, and y'all had some different things, placards from the school district. And it was different trades. Like you say, it was talking about going into the trades. It was talking about going into military or technical school or college. Right. Everybody's path's not the same, is it?
That's right. That's right. And college isn't for everyone.
That's right.
And so if you got a plumbing business that's been around Horry County for 30 or 40 years, and the son or the grandson is wanting to keep it going, we need to be able to provide that student opportunities to graduate with certification, so that they can go straight to work out of school and have everything that they need to continue to run that business successfully.
That's good. Melanie, I think you've got an interesting perspective too, because you do have a daughter that is in the classroom every day. I mean, so you can really relate. I mean, you get a bird's eye view of what she goes through and what she brings home to you. Tell me some of the thoughts there, like your perspective. Do you pick her brain sometimes?
I do. I'll pick her brain on, certain things that we might be discussing at, going into a board meeting, or, just get her thoughts and opinions on whatever we may be discussing. Yes, I will. Yes.
I got you. Good deal. And as a chair, like, what's something you've learned from our current chairman now, like what that does? You got to keep unity on the board, kind of help them. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of the chair.
Well, yes, the chair does keep the unity among all of the board members. And I don't really see the chair as any more important than any other board member. That is a we team, that we do things collectively. It's not an I or a me. We need to be unified, and we need to think about what's best for the whole district. And we really work great together. We have a great board.
That's great. That's great. Melanie, I would just think that I've always said this about any form of government. If it's a state legislator or a school board, it's good to have people that come from different avenues of the world. You don't just need school teachers on the school board. You need business people too, because you just said $1 billion budget.
That's right.
I do like to know there's a business person there that knows they have to balance their budget too.
Right. And I agree with you, Autry. I don't think, all school board members need to be retired teachers or have worked in the school in any other capacity. It's very important for business-minded people to be on this board because every one of our board members bring a different perspective to the board, and that's a good thing because at the end of the day, we can all agree to disagree on whatever the topic may be because some board members might not think about it the way the other board member approached it. So it's an eye-opening experience. And I think that every one of them brings something good to the table, and that's an accomplishment in and of itself.
Absolutely. And I think it's very helpful. Like you said, you've visited different schools in the district. We still are a very diverse county, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We're very rural, but then we're at the beach, right?
That's
You want to talk a little bit about that? How the schools are different?
Yes, well, they all have their own little culture. You know, it's just like you said, when you go to the rural areas, you've got more of your farming families. And then when you come over here to the beach, whether it be St. James or North Myrtle Beach, you know, you have got families that might be multilingual families. And the principals have done a great job at creating the culture for each school that is catered to their community. And it's just great to see the diversity across our district.
And I appreciate you saying that. And I think y'all give, you know, each school, each principal the leeway to do what we had Miss Davis on there. And I found out that she hires her whole staff. I mean, so every principal, that's kind of like their little city.
That's right. That's right. That's their own little family outside of their home. And yes, they do. They hire for their needs whenever they have job openings. Yes.
So, is the school board meetings open to the public? You want to tell the public a little bit about how they can view?
They are. We have a meeting every other Monday. We're kind of on break right now because spring break starts Friday for everybody. So we'll be meeting at the end of the month, but normally we meet from August until the end of May, 1st of June. And it's usually every other Monday. And yes, they are open to the public. And on our first Monday of every month, whenever we meet, we have public comment. They are more than welcome to come and speak if they would like to sign up. And if they can't make it in person, we have it live on our Horry County Schools page.
That's good. That's good. And Melanie, as we're running out of time here, so if they want to learn more about you and like your desires to, and what you want to do when we chair, where can they find you?
They can find me on the school district website. I have my cell number on there under Board of Education, and I am available on Facebook. They can shoot me a message through Messenger. That's good.
Well, thank you for your service to our county and for caring, because you really are giving back once you do this. There's a lot of things you could be doing, but you care about the schools and our community, so thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Autry, for having me.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Friends, as we wrap up today, do your homework. Our schools matter, our teachers matter, our district matters, and your dollars are at work, so do your homework. We are in an election season, so make sure that you take your American right and go vote. In primaries matter. Join us next time.